And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
I'm National Weather Service meteorologist Peter Chan. Let's take a look now at your aviation weather for the state of Alaska coming up for Monday and Tuesday. Starting as of this Sunday, we're looking at a very strong frontal system that'll be pushing across the state by early Monday morning. It will already be in through the central interior, crossing the Alaska Range. There will be a secondary low taking shape just off the Kenai coast and in the north central Gulf by Monday afternoon. So Monday morning, a wide swath of IFR conditions, low IFR, because of areas of heavier snow, blowing snow further south. Southern arm here of the Alaska Range could pick up some mixed precipitation, as the case here across the far southern areas from Bethel over toward Anvik, and then conditions will rapidly improve behind this front. There could even be a rumble of thunder around Nunavik Island as there will be scattered rain and snow showers with some convection in the wake of this system, and the winds will be shifting more to the southwest and west here into Norton Sound and along the Yukon Delta areas of Bristol Bay, Kuskokwim Bay, and up along and south of the Bering Strait. By Monday afternoon, low center, a secondary low forming here. Already on the backside of this system, we're expecting conditions to be rapidly improving through the Mat-Su Valley and Anchorage area come Monday afternoon, early evening. But Monday morning, a big burst of heavier snow coming through Anchorage will likely cancel or delay a number of flights, so keep that in mind. There will be travel delays in and around the Anchorage area. Early Monday morning through about early afternoon is when the bulk of that snow will fall. If I had to, at least based on information right now, a burst of snow, heaviest snow falling in the Anchorage Bowl area between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Monday morning. And then that system works east. You're going to see IFR conditions, northeastern Gulf spreading up into the Panhandle as rain and snow move their way eastward with this system. And then by Tuesday morning, improved conditions south of the Alaska Range through south central areas and VFR across most of the Panhandle with the exception of the south. Over toward Hyder and areas east, especially of Ketchikan. We see IFR conditions lingering in through the central interior, just to the west of the Alaska Range, and then out over Norton Sound into the southwest interior, lower Yukon area. And then out along the Aleutians, widespread IFR. There's going to be a warm front lying across this region with another area of low pressure southwest of the Aleutians. That is going to strengthen and track northeastward later Tuesday into Wednesday. Eventually, that low is going to take a track right up into the southwest interior on Wednesday. That'll be the next weather maker with widespread IFR conditions associated with that low and the attendant frontal systems that'll be arcing out ahead of it. And in the meantime, Tuesday afternoon, we do expect VFR conditions across much of south central and VFR north of the Alaska Range through the Yukon Valley on up across the Brooks Range and the North Slope. So looking at pass conditions on Monday morning, Anatuvik Pass, initially IFR conditions with that frontal system pushing in through the region, becoming MVFR later in the day as we go through the afternoon and early evening. Atigun Pass, IFR conditions there in the morning, giving way to MVFR. The interior will see an area of snow. We have a number of winter storm warnings that are currently in effect this Sunday morning and afternoon for areas of the western interior along and east of Norton Sound. That all is moving eastward. Now, Lake Clark and Merrill will see IFR conditions in the morning with that front approaching and then moving through with areas of heavier snow and mixed precipitation, including some freezing rain. Conditions, though, by mid to late afternoon should improve to MVFR. Rainy Pass, IFR in the morning, giving way to MVFR in the afternoon. Same situation, though, areas farther north will stay mainly snow, especially in any of the higher elevations. Windy Pass, IFR in the morning, giving way to MVFR in the afternoon. Isabel Pass will try to keep MVFR throughout the day, though. There could be a period of IFR conditions there midday as that front moves through. Then Tasta Pass, VFR early Monday, giving way to IFR conditions as we expect there to be accumulating snows moving up through the Copper River Basin, lower ceilings, lower visibilities with all of that. Tanita Pass, MVFR early, but as that secondary low takes shape over the north central Gulf, We're looking at IFR conditions with that lower cloud cover, ceilings, visibilities, and snow moving in. Portage Pass, IFR in the morning, becoming MVFR by mid to late afternoon at the earliest. But certainly improving conditions later in the day, Monday. And then Chilkoot and White will see VFR conditions Monday morning, giving way to MVFR conditions, and that'll be the case. We could see MVFR to maybe IFR as we go into Monday night and Tuesday. Looking at the freezing levels, here early Monday morning we have the front working its way eastward across the central interior in through Cook Inlet and the Kenai Peninsula before that secondary low spins up here right along the north central Gulf Coast. Ahead of it, there is a push of a little warmer air aloft. That's what's going to create the possibility of mixed precipitation, areas of the Kenai Peninsula, southern areas of the Cook Inlet. Already this Sunday, as I'm recording this, these areas here, especially from Bethel eastward to up against the Alaska Range, could see mixed precipitation down toward Bristol Bay along with some gusty winds. But as that system quickly translates eastward, we should see improving conditions across this area later Monday morning into Monday afternoon, mid to late afternoon. So that's the trend. This is a rather progressive system. It's not going to last terribly long. But we do have potential for considerable moderate icing across areas of the interior, down through Cook Inlet, Kenai Peninsula, Northern Gulf, working its way in the morning to shifting eastward in the afternoon. Interior above 1,000 feet, pretty much snow. Freezing levels aloft are well, they're not aloft, they're at the ground. And here along the Gulf Coast, freezing levels above 3,000 feet and then above 5,000 feet out over the Gulf. And then back here, developing a warm front in this region above 6,000 feet, there could be some considerable moderate icing in through parts of the eastern Aleutians. This is what's driving the system along. Quick hitter for Anchorage Bowl area. It's a fast zonal flow west to east with 145 knot jet core Monday over the Alaska Peninsula. And we bring it down to 9,000 feet or 700 millibars. You can see a broad belt of 40 to as high as 60 and 70 knot winds across the central, southeast Bering, Alaska Peninsula into the western Gulf, North Pacific. And as we bring it down further to 3,000 feet, we see very strong outflow winds here out of Cook Inlet in excess of 45, 50 knots. We have a broad belt of westerly winds along the southwest coast through Kuskokwim, Bristol Bay area, anywhere from 50 to as high as 60 knots. So this area here, we expect near the surface, there likely will be considerable amount of turbulence, moderate turbulence. There could be some pockets of isolated severe turbulence in through these regions, especially if there's any interaction with terrain. And as typical with a kind of west-northwest wind coming out of Cook Inlet, some of the strongest winds right in this location between Kodiak Island and the Kenai Peninsula. There could be some isolated severe turbulence, surface to 5,000 feet, surface to 4,000 feet across much of the southwest up through areas of Norton Sound and along the Brooks Range, along the Alaska Range surface to as high as 10,000 feet, and then back out here toward St. Matthew, St. Paul, and the far western Aleutians, moderate turbulence possible, surface to 3,000 feet.